You muted. No, you froze. Second time around. See, you froze again.
Second time around with Smokey and Tammy.
Yeah! Hey friends, I'm Smokey.
And I'm Tammy.
And welcome to Second Time Around 7. Wow. Second Time Around 7. On this episode of Second Time Around 7, we are talking about self-care. And with self-care, we're going to talk about what we can do as parents and family members and what we do for ourselves. And then for couples care, we will talk about
things you can do to help keep the romance alive in your marriage and your relationship and help focus on the couple itself and not everybody else.
Wow. And that's so important. Thank you. All right. So let's get into it. Let's get it. Let's go. Man, with this today, we're going to talk about different types of self-care. And with the self-care that we will talk about first, we'll talk about personal self-care.
Mm-hmm.
What does personal self-care look like? To me, personal self-care is the typical grooming things that you see. You know, we've been in a cave a long time, 365 days for some of us,
mm-hmm.
and now it's time we're going back out in public. The sweatpants that we wore in the house for 2 days and 3 days in a row is no longer appropriate in public. Going outside without our hair being groomed, without our
going on camera without your makeup on,
going in the streets without your nails done, ladies. And some gentlemen, or just coming on camera with dirty nails, or just being in public with dirty nails. So personal self-care is just taking care of self. Next, I'd like to talk about physical self-care. Tammy, what can we do for physical self-care?
You know, all your doctors want to tell you to exercise 30 minutes a day, 3 to 5 days a week. I mean, I feel like I'm active, but I don't have a set ritual or schedule for exercise for 30 minutes a day, every day, or at least 3 times a week.
Right. I think our physical self-care is running in behind our grandkids.
Right.
That's our
3 days a week.
That's our physical self-care right there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, setting aside time where you can do things that'll take care of yourself, I think is a great aspect of physical self-care.
Drinking your water, eating a balanced diet as well is, that helps with physical self-care. So you got to make sure that, you're getting your fruits and your vegetables, your 64 ounces at least of water a day in our fridge. I know that's hard for you, but for me, I find it quite easy. I chug water all day long.
What about the sugar intake?
What about it?
Is it good for me?
Some sugar is fine.
Some sugar is fine. Give me have sugar. Some sugar is fine. But that processed sugar, let's scale it back. Let's dial it back just a little bit.
Exactly.
Also, with physical health care, are we getting adequate sleep?
Oh, that's so important. I definitely have a sleep timer set on my phone, like 9:30 p.m. that I should be in bed, ready to shut it down. Now, granted, Smokey and I may not fall asleep until after 10 or 11 o'clock. Right. He falls asleep a whole lot easier than I do. I did triage for years. And so I feel like I'm a light sleeper. And so my rest is disturbed very easy. So definitely trying to get the 7 to 9 hours of sleep a day as an adult is important. And even for the children, at least 8 hours of sleep, 8 to 10 hours of sleep, I think is what's recommended for youth.
Good point. So next, I would like to ask the question is your diet fueling your body well? Is my diet fueling my body well? Is what we're taking in making the process of our body well? And that, again, speaks to the sugar aspect. If we're eating a lot of sugar, polyhydrated food.
You know what polyhydrated food is?
No.
Okay.
What is that?
Well, you say poly is many, hydrated is liquefied. I mean, that's just a lot of
many liquefied food.
I don't know if you would consider juicing, and folks, if I'm wrong, feel free to put it in the comments.
Right.
But would juicing be considered polyhydrating? I don't know. I don't know. But I think a balanced diet, following the food guide pyramid. I know there's people out there that will participate. A good friend of mine, she does juicing. She doesn't. She's, how can I put this? She juices. She does it for a good week or two. She does eat a meal at least once a day, and then she takes a break from it. So it's not her only means of nutritional intake. And you have people that are vegetarians, vegans, whatever they want to call them. What do you call the ones, the pescatarians that, they'll eat fish. I think if you're following the food guide pyramid, that's probably just the most healthy way to ensure you're getting what your body needs. And I know folks like to take supplements. Nothing wrong with supplements. We need our vitamin D as Black folks. Here in Maryland, it's a high-low vitamin D count for the African Americans in the Maryland area. So, and it's because of where we fall along on the equator. So if we're not getting that sun, we got to take our supplements. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Good. You said something that confused me just a little bit. I just wanted to slow it down. Slow it down.
My bad.
You said high, low vitamin D.
We have a high rate of low vitamin D levels in the African American community in this state.
Gotcha. Okay, very good. And that's what I thought I understood you to say, but I just wanted to make sure. All right. Are we taking charge of our health?
So, like in our last podcast, I was saying how it's time to go ahead and start scheduling your physicals, getting back into the appointments with your specialists. If you see specialists for any chronic care management, making appointments with your dentist, things like that, things you would have done pre-pandemic to take care of your body and your physical health. It's time to start getting back into that swing of it. So,
all right. And then we have social self-care. And since we're starting to open back up into the public, and like Maryland has just opened back up to opening restaurants and
50% capacity.
Right, to 50% capacity. Our social aspects need to be put back in the check. And I'm trying to be careful how I say this, because we can make face behind our mask and people can't see it. But once the masks are removed, you still need to have that social interaction. Like I was in the store the other day, and I said hello to the clerk in the store before they greeted me. And then I said, have a nice day before, and they didn't respond. So, that social aspect is something that we have to get used to again.
So do you think this these video conferences has, what's the word I'm looking for, definitely affected our manners?
Wow.
Yes. Manners and the way that we communicate, because now people will have a meeting and all the cameras are off. Every meeting I went to today, everybody's camera was off.
Wow.
And I turned mine on, and first thing they said was, "Oh, you have your camera on." Like, hey, it's up to you.
Right.
If you don't want to turn it on, don't turn it on. But just know I'm here. I did my hair, and I don't mind having my camera on.
Good point. And that's a very good point, because that's the social aspect that we've lost a bit of in this Zoom online world that we've turned into. And we have to live with it, because it's going to be a part of our history for now on. But the question is, are we getting enough face-to-face time with our friends?
I get enough face-to-face time.
Ooh, hey, friend.
Hey, friend.
All right. So, like if you do have that friend that's an introvert and they like to do things by themselves, it's really been a trying time for those people, even for the extroverts that are usually outgoing and the life of the party. If there's no party, then what are you the life of? Am I making sense?
Yeah. Hopefully. I mean, my clique, we got together around the holidays. We try to get together right at the end of the year, and we haven't done anything since. And we're planning a brunch this coming Sunday. I'm looking forward to it. I don't go to brunch. I don't think I've ever been to a brunch, so I'm looking forward to it. And Smokey, you're more than welcome to join us.
Oh, I'm gonna be a fly on the wall. I'm like,
right, because you're a good time, and the girls love you. So I mean,
right.
It is what it is. But I'm looking forward to it. Do I have to get together every weekend? No, and that's probably because we have each other.
Right.
But as far as just getting that girl time, that something other than my husband, yeah, right. I'm looking forward to it.
I can dig it. All right, so that answers my next question that I had.
Oh, actually. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Something outside of Zoom.
Oh.
Because when we socialize, with a larger family, we do it on Zoom.
Right. True.
And I miss being in the same room with everybody, watching the kids interact and cooking, just having a good time. It doesn't lose its luster on Zoom, but the in-person is missed. And
gotcha.
So hopefully it'll change.
And that speaks to what are we doing to nurture our relationship with family and friends? And that's just what you spoke to. And one other thing that I'd like to add for those that maybe haven't, because board games are like out the window now, but there are other games online that you can play as a family. I remember one. Like
they're not paying us, so don't say the name out there.
Okay, I'm not gonna say the name.
Okay.
But it was a
online game
that was good, and we had a party. That's what I say.
we had a party in the house.
We had a party that was around
online.
The house. Yes.
That everybody, if you had a device, even the children played with us, grabbed their devices, and it was easy enough for them to play along.
It was so fun. It was so fun. All right. So mental self-care is the other aspect. So we talked about physical, we talked about social, and then we're going to talk about mental health care, mental self-care. We need to make sure that we're making enough time for our activities that mentally stimulate us.
You mean like my search word books that I keep in the bathroom?
Yes, the search word books and not just ratchet reality television.
The Inquirer.
Don't get me wrong. I love a good ratchet reality review, but if that's what's consuming most of our day, as opposed to reading a book or reading the Word of God, you have to have that delicate B word, which is balance. Next, are you doing proactive things that help you stay mentally fit?
What?
Mentally healthy. Like you said, the crossword puzzle book, because that stimulates your mind. A Sudoku book. Anything that... Sudoku, tomato, potato.
I don't play that game. It's okay.
Horseshoes.
Crossword.
Go out in the backyard, throw some horseshoes. My man Marcus know about horseshoes, but him and Willie, Deacon Willie, Elder Walker, they get never mind. It's a whole competition, y'all. Hey, Joe Hedgeman, I'm calling you out. Yes, I use your whole government name. I'm calling you out. You want this horseshoe game? Let's go. All right.
Okay. I'm sorry. What else for mental health?
Oh, that was mental health. Okay.
Okay. So and then even for those that are working, okay, I would hope that you were able to maintain employment during this time, and if not, then looking for something else to do. If it's not in the same field, there's nothing wrong with a little variety and picking up something different to do, and learning something new. I just finished my PhD program in November, and I'm already like, can I get another one? What could I do? What could my degree, my next degree, my double doctorate be? So just having that thrive, that desire to want to grow and enhance what you already know, what you already have locked up in your head.
Wow.
That helps with your mental, I think your mental exercise and your mental care is just trying to stay sharp and keep up with the times. And again, like you said, reading the Bible, and just, I don't even know, helping the children with their homework, because they do that new math.
That new math is a mug. MUG. a mug. But with the mental piece, here's the other part that I really wanted to show.
Mm-hmm.
You see the cord?
Yes.
This is what you must do sometimes.
Okay. What is that? Disconnect?
Disconnect.
Oh my.
Unplug. That's what we must do sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It's called screen fatigue. You get tired. You have meeting at the meeting. Even when you get back into the personal space and in the office, you're going to have that anxiety first. It may come. Everyone has to get used to everybody else again. But you have to learn when 4:30, when 5 o'clock, when 7 o'clock, when 2 o'clock, whatever time you get off, you need to make sure you take a mental health break and disconnect.
That's honestly, folks, why it's taken us a week to get back online to record. I have had a lot of eye strain from sitting at the computer all day and then to have to come to the studio and then record. It's very wearing on the eyes. And so I appreciate you guys looking at our previous episodes and sending us comments and asking, hey, I can't wait for your next one. Okay, here you go. I toughed it out. I got me a little rest after work today. Mm-hmm. And I told Smokey, let's go. I'm ready. Got me a little coffee. I don't even know what that was that I had, but it gave me the buzz and energy that I needed. So, and I do feel rested. Had a good night's sleep last night. I feel rested. And so we're back. Hi.
And this speaks to the next point, which is emotional.
Mm-hmm.
Emotional self-care is important. Do you have healthy ways to process your emotions? Sometimes we have healthy ways of processing our emotions, but that's for the group. We're married. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So what you mean? I don't understand. Did we not process something?
No. We process our emotions healthy, right? So instead of letting it bottle up and fester, and you sit and dwell on it, and then 2 weeks later it come back. I told you 2 weeks ago. No, you didn't. You thought about it 2 weeks ago, but we never discussed it 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. We like to discuss things and not let it sit, not let it fester, not let it boil to a head, and then next thing you know, you're yelling at one another.
I mean, again, I still have to take my time outs and think about how I want to put it strategically, but ensure that I'm being heard. And I think we do that. We do that well. So if you need tips or points on how to, what is it, fight fairly or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what the experts call it, but there's a good way to communicate. There is a way to communicate. There are multiple ways. Even if you just have to write it down, hand it off, and that person reads it because you don't think you can verbalize it. There's ways to do this thing. Okay.
Effective communication.
Yes.
Good.
All right. What else you got?
And the last one for emotional self-care that I have is, do you incorporate activities into your life that will help you feel recharged?
You mean like that ride to the to the coffee shop today?
Exactly. Mental health breaks, like the ride to the coffee shop. Also, the phone call that we had today, when we were just sitting in the driveway watching the sun go down. Mm-hmm. What was the phone call to?
Oh, well, I mean that's going to move into the next.
Okay. You think so?
I think it will. It's going to move into the next.
Well, the next one is spiritual, so okay.
Oh, no. Okay. All right. No, go ahead. What was you going to say?
Massages. Massages, professional massages.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. What's this topic again?
This one's emotional. It was emotional health care.
So massages are good for emotional health?
Oh yeah. Because when I have a headache, if I rub my temples, it'll relieve some of that.
Or you mean like when you're sad and sometimes just giving a hug?
Right. Or your shoulders or your neck hurt. That's
really one massage.
That touch. Boy, look at here. I'm looking for a chiropractic. Hint. But yeah, emotional self-care.
So when I think of emotions, I think of your insides that need to be massaged, not your outside.
Ooh.
And so I'm thinking, like, if you're feeling sad, overwhelmed, just having somebody available that you can talk to, just to where they're just going to lend you their ear. You're not looking for feedback. You're not looking for advice. You just want somebody to hear. You just want to air it out, or you just want to get a hug, because you're down, or because you're sad, or you have some exciting news you want to share and you just want to tell it to somebody,
Just bubbling up.
Right. It's no fun doing it. Look, it's exciting to get the news, but then when you want to share it and you have nobody to share the good news with, that could be a little challenging.
I agree. And to your point, some signs of stress and some signs that you need emotional self-care. You may have excessive worrying. You might be easy to anger. You might have whining or clinging to certain things. You can have fear or bad dreams. You can have headaches. You can have body aches, and you can even have withdrawal. Those are all signs of stress. And just to let you know, if you find yourself in an emotional state and you need help, you can always call 211, which is Maryland's non-emergency helpline, and you can get connected with help.
That's
Maryland's
awesome.
211.
Thank you. And I'm sure each state has their own emergency helpline or non-emergency helpline.
Right.
But because we're in Maryland,
that's what we talk about.
Okay.
And our final one that we will talk about today is spiritual self-care. My. Probably should have led with this one, but it's okay.
It's okay.
So you must develop, or you should develop, a self-care plan.
Okay.
A self-care plan isn't like a one-size-fit-all thing that serves everybody. Some of my friends are in church. Some of my friends are not in church. I talk to my friends in church like I talk to my friends out of church. But that's just me. I'm able to do that. I'm able to be the same. And that's a part of my self-care, of knowing who I am. And that's what I implore you to do. Learn how to develop a self-care plan where you can fix your no button. Because for the longest time, my no button was broke. And I had to have a spiritual conversation with God to help to have him reset my no button. Because when somebody would come to me and ask me to do something, okay, I got you. Okay, let's do that. Let's get it done. But the problem is, you're so busy. I was so busy going out helping others, and nobody was reassuring me or pouring back into me. This is prior to my marriage to Tammy. So nobody was pouring into me, or they weren't pouring to me effectively. Okay. So,
or were you just not receiving when they was pouring?
And that's absolutely, because it's just like a battery charger. You ever try to, here you go, perfect example. You ever try to use your phone while you're charging it? Yeah. You're steadily expending more wattage instead of allowing it to fully charge, recharge, and then use it.
Okay.
So that's what you have to do. The same concept with your body and your spiritual plan. You have to learn to take care of yourself.
When you say your spiritual health, I'm thinking about taking time to meditate, to pray, to listen. Look on our, what you call them thing, the Echo, the Alexa. Yes. Yep. I have it set to give me a praise. I have the praise break music. I have it set to give me the scripture for the day. I know a lot of folks use the scripture on their cell phone, because then they copy and post it onto their IGs and stuff like that.
Right.
So, I love it. I need it. And I would hope that whatever faith that you participate in, that you are exercising your spiritual health and doing what you need to do to help keep that whole.
Good. I agree.
Okay.
Excuse me. And in closing.
Closing.
I'm sorry. In closing this part.
Sit down.
If you need to get help now, there's a crisis text line. You can text HOME, HOME, to the number 741-741. This is in Maryland. Again, for the crisis text line, you can text the word HOME, HOME, to the number 741-741. Prince George's County Crisis Services includes mobile services as well, which is 301-429-2185. 301-429-2185. And the last one that I gave you earlier, Maryland, call 211. All right.
Okay. Now, can we move into the romantic side?
Ooh, let's get it.
All right. So I want to talk about things that you could do, and it can be self-care or couples care. It's definitely universal. Okay. So some things that you could do to work on yourself and take care of yourself. One, again, like we said earlier, is scheduling a massage. We like to do a couples massage, but there's times when we're in separate rooms as well, because Smokey likes to fall asleep in his massage.
Allegedly.
And the snoring, just
Allegedly. I don't. I used to snore. I don't snore no more. I've been changed.
No. So that's like number one on our list in care is getting that massage.
I agree.
Taking the time out. The pedicures. We just, babe, you want to go get your feet done? I'm extremely ticklish, so I have to work myself up to get a pedicure. I got pretty feet, y'all. Trust me. I'm just very ticklish.
Right.
And so we go every so often to get pedicures together. Mm-hmm. Massages, pedicures, going for a walk. The weather is breaking. I don't have allergies as bad as he does, but going out for that walk and just taking in the air, getting that sun, getting your 30 minutes of exercise in.
There you go.
Or even just meditating and sitting outside and just enjoying it. Just listening to the birds, watching the cars ride by. It's really a good mental health break.
I agree.
Other things that you could do. I have to go to my cheat sheet. Let's see. Other things that you could do for your for self-care and couples care. Let's see.
So for couples care, one thing that I like to do, I like to find myself a nice spot on my couch. Mm-hmm. And then when I sit down, I don't go to sleep necessarily, but it's like what is it? Archie Bunker, like his chair at home. After a long day of whatever he went through, nobody messed with him when he came to his chair at home. Mm-hmm. And that's what couples care. It's like knowing what your spouse needs or wants or desires. And that go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Right.
Some other things that I found out was just taking times to stretch or do yoga.
Good.
I'll sit on the floor. If I'm sitting on the floor with I say the girls because they're the two older of the grandkids. Mm-hmm. We can sit down and we'll stretch. We'll do yoga. You could also go for those coffee runs. Get your favorite treat. We were getting a little addicted to the coffee house. I'm not going to say their name
because they don't give us no money.
Right.
No ads. You can also donate to Cash App at $, second time around 7. Second time around 7.
Okay. So thank you. Mm. And then some other things you could do is just sit back and listen to music, whether it's instrumental, whether it's the nature sounds, because we definitely do the nature sounds with the thunderstorms or the birds chirping. We listen to a lot of inspirational and gospel music. You could also just go for some ice cream or that frozen yogurt, do it by yourself or as a couple.
Good. And
then one of my favorite things to do, although I prefer Smokey does it the most, is cooking. Yeah. But what I love most about it is that we do it together. And when we do it together, it's just more fun. I feel closer to Smokey when we do that. And so I like finding a good recipe for us to try and we can cook together. But I mostly like it when he cooks for me.
And that's a good point. I do feel that it gives us a time to have non-serious conversation, I guess is a good way to say it. But it does give us a way to have a conversation, and you have that talk. You can talk about your day. You can talk about what's good about your day, what's bad about your day. Jaden, you could talk about what's good about your day, what's bad about your day. And you do all that over the stove. Because if you think about it, there were a few places that we held things together as a family. The barbershop, because we talked about stuff at the barbershop, the beauty salon, and we also talked about it in the kitchen. In the kitchen.
Ask me about my stylist, y'all. I can give y'all her contact info. Okay.
Yeah, we can give you her contact information. Soon as she donate the Cash App, $, second time around 7.
Tempting Tresses. Look her up. Tempting Tresses. Okay. I know. And just a few other things.
She good, though.
She good. Tempting Tresses by Tamika. All right. Just a few other things. Clear out the clutter. Okay.
Ooh, wait. What clutter we clearing up?
Clear out the clutter, whether it's your closet, your garage,
your mind,
your office, your mind, or your garage, your car, or your garage. Clear out the clutter. Okay. It's time to spring clean, guys.
Yes.
Tomorrow is the first day of spring, right? March 20th.
It really is.
Clear out the clutter. Now is the time.
Good.
Okay.
That's a great point.
Okay.
Clear out the clutter.
You got anything else? Oh, I got one more, but go ahead if you got something else.
No, the only other thing I have for couples care is learning to take time to listen. And that's what I meant to say when we were talking about cooking.
What you say?
Learn to take time to listen.
Oh.
Hush your mouth, woman. All right. Yes. Take time to listen.
Mm-hmm.
Because, it's important. It's really important. Listening. We talk so much that we hear ourselves talk almost, as opposed to listening to find out what is the true things that's being expressed by the other party. And that's one thing that I know I can do better. And that's one thing that we as humans can do better. Listen more than we talk. I guess that's why God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth.
I guess so. And I would say the last thing on my list is listening to an inspirational podcast, such as Second Time Around 7. But seriously, inspirational. It could be your favorite. What's the word? Oh man,
motivational speaker.
Thank you. Yes, your favorite motivational speaker, your favorite pastor, your favorite whoever. Just find something you like to listen to, and see what they're saying for the day or for the week or whatever they said a year ago. I listen to a lot of old podcasts.
Yeah.
And I search by topic. I pick a topic. If that keyword pops up, then I'm on it. And I like to listen to marriage or married couples speaking, or topics related to healthy marriages.
Wow. Yeah,
okay,
that's good.
I already know what an unhealthy marriage looks like. And so I want to learn more about healthy marriages. This is the second time around 7. So,
this is my second time around too.
So I'm at the first time. I'm not saying it wasn't good, but it wasn't great. So this right here is the best.
I agree. I put a 2 stamp on that. I agree.